He is rather small, there's no denying it. But he'll grow, Mr. Sowerberry. He will grow.
Ah, I dare say he will. On our victuals and our drink. They're a waste of time, these workhouse boys. They always cost more to keep than they're worth. Still, you men always think you know best. What are you going to do with him?
Well, there's an expression of melancholy on his face that I find quite interesting. He could make a delightful coffin follower. I don't mean a coffin follower to follow the grown-ups, but only for the children's practice. A follower in proportion, my sweet. It could be a delightful effect the more I think about it.
For once, just for once, you might have a decent idea. Fairly well then, boy, what's your name?
Oliver Twist.
A singular name.
I'm that, and one of my own choosing.
Yours, Mr. Bumble.
Mine, Mrs. Sowerberry.
How's that, Mr. Bumble?
The boy's mother came to us destitute. Pregnant a child into the world, takes one look at him and promptly dies. Not leaving so much as a holding name and address.
Oh, dear, dear. Well, Oliver Twist, do you think you could look like this gentleman right here in this picture?
I think so.